I'm so depressed.
Without you, I've got no hand to hold.
I don't want another pretty face.
I don't just anyone cold. To be young and in love in New York City.
Scream that! No, Jacob!
It's been a long day
Without you, Chipotle. I'm so sorry, guys. No, I really am depressed. At least I'm repping the merch. Sartorians versus everybody, am I right? Hi, guys. If you don't know who I am, I'm Brooke Sanchez. Today's video is me telling my experience eating lunch with Jacob Sartorius for the 3rd time. And what I mean by eating lunch with him, the Inner Circle ticket for his tour stops. And I always get Inner Circle, most of the time. Because, I mean, why not? Like it's Inner Circle. Like, you get to eat lunch with him, watch him do his sound check, take pictures with him, and just, like, hang out with him for, like, a couple hours. It's definitely worth it. Definitely worth it compared to VIP. So, basically, this was the Sartorius Summer Send-Off Tour, and he went to only a few stops, and luckily he came to Hot Springs, Arkansas, which is only 4 hours away from where I live. This was my 5th time meeting him, and I went with my best friend, Chloe Carter. We left Tulsa, Oklahoma, Friday, August 31st, because the concert was Saturday. Chloe left from Mississippi, which is where she lives. So then we ended up going to sleep around midnight, and we got up the next morning for the concert at around like 7 in the morning, and I don't know if y'all, I don't know what I'm saying, but I cannot eat like for like days on end whenever I'm about to meet Jacob or after I've met Jacob. Like, it just doesn't work. Like, I get to, it's like a mixture of like nervousness and like being excited and like wanting to puke everywhere and like depression and like hyperness all mixed together, that it just like doesn't let me eat. So like I tried to eat. I spent like $7 on a bagel. I only ate half of it. So then we went upstairs, started getting ready and everything, and the outfit that I wore, you guys will see pictures. And we went and headed to the park around like, we got there around at like 11:30, and me and Chloe met so many of you guys, like, throughout the whole thing, like, just walking around the park, during the meet and greet, at the concert, after the concert, like, just everything. We met so many Sartorians and so many people who like follow my social medias and stuff, and it was great. So I'll insert some of the pictures that I took with you guys. Oh, basically before we like had to line up for Inner Circle, which was like where we're about to eat lunch with him and like hang out with Jacob, me and Chloe were just like walking around. I had my speaker and we were like jamming to JS. We were like, girl, you really got me hooked on a feeling so high I hit the ceiling, and I don't wanna come back down. Do you feel it too? You're hooked on a feeling. This might just be the real thing, and never gonna come back down. Stay up with me, sorry, I kind of got a little carried away. Eventually, Chloe and I ended up running into Matt, which is Jacob's tour manager, my favorite, and I told Matt that. I was like, Matt, you're my favorite manager. And he goes, thank you, I appreciate that, really, I do. And I was like, yes, now I can take a selfie with Jacob because he likes me. I'm just kidding, I don't suck up to Matt. I mean, okay. On occasion, some of the concerts I might suck up to Matt. Depends on how bad I'm wanting to do a certain pose with Jacob. So we ended up running into Matt, and I took a picture with Matt. So we just walked around, met more people, and then we made our way back to like the water park and everything. And the group of people that we were with were kind of behind me, and I kind of left them. And I go up to this mom, and I was like, have you seen like 2 teenage boys, brown hair, they're with a girl? And she was like, they're in line for that slide. And I was like, oh, because she already knew who I was talking about. And so we all were just like waiting for him to come out of the slide. We just watched him come out in a little like tube into the water. He's just chilling, he's just like floating out of the water slide in his little tube, just like, oh yeah, it's fine, like, I'm not like Jacob Sartorius, like, I'm not a legend, I'm just chilling, shirtless, in front of all these Sartorians. Jacob, you're killing us.
Hey
Jacob! And then he had security walk him like to this other water attraction that he wanted to go to. Me and Chloe were like starting to walk back to like get ready for Inner Circle, but then we saw him at like this little like surfing area where you like get on like a little boogie board and you like try to surf on your stomach. He was just in line, you know, waiting to surf and everything. I'm in complete awe right now. After that, he surfed and everything. Everyone was like, yeah, JS, woo! And then he started heading back to the tour bus to get ready for Inner Circle, which was what me and Chloe had to get ready for. So we started walking back, and I touched him. I touched his shoulder. A lot of drama happened with that in the fandom, which I'm not going to speak of. You either know what I'm talking about or you don't, but yeah, so I touched his shoulder. Here's the video. Jacob! But like the thing is, Jacob touched this hand like literally 7 times that day. What? We went back to the bathroom and we started getting ready. And then we ended up walking and waiting in line to go eat lunch with Jacob. And we go in like the little area, and Matt's like, okay girls, get a drink from the fountain and then you can find a seat to sit. And I've already been in Inner Circle like twice. It was my 3rd time, so I know how it works. You gotta be one of the first people in the little seating area so you know where to sit. That's good. I was the first one to sit down, and I was right at the very end. I was the first one for everything, so that's just great, Matt, thanks. But yeah, I was the very first one to sit down. I was like, yes, got my seat, got it good, I'm gonna be next to Jacob. So then Matt ends up bringing all of the people for Inner Circle, all of like the talents in to sit down and like start Inner Circle. And they all went around, gave us high fives. Jacob was going around giving everyone high fives, just casually like, and then I was the last one on the end, right? He comes to me, he gives me a high five, okay, like this. And double takes, he double takes at me. Jacob double taked at me, right? Okay. He goes, hey, how have you been? Ah! Hey, how have you been? How have I been? So for all of you people out there at school who are watching this video and want to say that Jacob doesn't know who I am, Jacob doesn't remember me, check mother freaking twice, because pretty sure he remembers me. Okay, and then Matt was like, okay, everyone go around, say your name and where you're from and your question that you have for them. And he was like, I'm gonna start with you. And I was like, me? Okay, that's great. So everyone was looking at me. I was a little rusty. I forgot what I was saying. So it went down like this. Hi, my name's Brooke Sanchez. I'm from Tulsa, Oklahoma. And my question is, what do you find attractive in someone besides a good personality? Brooke, honey, why did you stall so much? Where Jacob was probably staring at me like, Okay, so Jacob ended up answering the question, and he was like, I like a girl with pretty eyes and a good smile. And he was like low-key looking at me and like saying those things, but I don't know. So then everyone else just went around talking to Jacob, saying their questions. I start talking to Jacob again, and I'm like, Jacob, I'm so excited to hear you perform Like Me Better. And he was like, I'm excited to perform that. It's a good song. And then I was like, you need to come to Oklahoma and perform. And he was like, I do, don't I? And then I was like, come to Tulsa, because like that's where I'm from and that's where he was born. And he was like, I do need to come to Tulsa. I want to go there. He started talking about how he needs to come to Tulsa and how he wants to perform there. So, just for future reference, y'all Oklahomans, start saving up your money because Jacob might be coming to Tulsa, Oklahoma. You're welcome. So after that, it was time to take the Polaroid pictures, which you get a Polaroid with Jacob and he signs it during Soundcheck. So Matt was like, it's time for Polaroid pictures. You're gonna be the first one. And it was me again. And I was like, oh man, do I have to be first? And he was like, okay, you. And he pointed to someone else. And they were like, I don't want to be first. And then Matt was like, and he pointed back to me. And I was like, I'll just go. Like, it's fine. Because, like, I mean, what bad is it being first to take a Polaroid picture with Jacob? Like, nothing bad about that. So I just went, and I sat right next to Jacob on the little picnic table, and we put our arms around each other. Jacob had his arm around me and everything. Oh my god, he was so warm. We were about to take the Polaroid picture. Me and Jacob were just like sitting there like this, and then I go, wait. And I like throw Jacob's arm off of me. I didn't mean to. And I was like, I need to fix my hair. Because like it was already fixed, but I low-key just like, I don't know. I just like wanted an excuse to like sit next to Jacob longer. Here's a picture of it. It was time to go to Soundcheck. And before Soundcheck, Jacob got up and started giving everyone high fives around the table. I was the first one to give a high five to. So he held out his hand and he gave me the high five, and someone started talking to him. And so he was just like talking to someone else, and our hands were just like staying there like this. Our fingers were like this. Oh my gosh, guys. And then he finished and ended up giving everyone else high fives. So I was living for that moment, guys. So then it was time for Soundcheck. We all went down to the stage, and Jacob was like, so what do you guys want to hear for Soundcheck? And I was like, hooked on a feeling! And he looked at me, and he was like, hooked on a feeling? And then he was like, it's usually Popular Girls that we play, but you guys want some new music, don't you? And then next he played Popular Girls, sung Popular Girls. It was great. Crying, so good. So then it comes time for the meet and greet, and I meet everyone.
Then you can wear my sweatshirt!
And then it comes time to meet Jacob, and I hug Jacob and everything. Cutest hug ever. So then I start talking to him, and I'm like, can we do the pose where you put your arms around me like this? And he was like, yeah. So we stood up and we did that. We took the professional picture and the picture like that. And then I turned to him and I'm like, can I be on your story? And he goes, I don't have my phone with me. And I was like, oh, okay, it's cool. And then he was like, wait, no, yeah, I really don't have my phone on me. Like, it's nowhere. And I was like, okay. And he was like, yeah, like, I don't know where my phone is. And then I was like, okay, like, it's fine. Can we just take a selfie? And so he was like, yeah. Matt hands Jacob my phone, and we take the selfie. I put my arm on his shoulder like this, and I was like, Jacob, you're so tall. And then he just like posed and everything, and I was about to walk off. But y'all know I'm so determined every time I meet Jacob to tell him I love him. Like, sometimes Jacob doesn't say I love you back to people during meet and greets, or he'll just be like, thank you, or you too, or something like that. But every time that I've said I love you to him, he says it back. I was about to walk off, almost didn't say it, and I'm like, wait. And so I give him another hug, and I'm like, love you. And then I'm starting to walk off, and he goes, love you. He made the effort to turn his head and say, love you, back to me. Like, that just means so much considering the way he is, you know what I mean? Most of you know what I mean. Okay, so then it was time to go to the seats, and I found my seat and everything, and I ended up getting to the very, very front row, which I'm always in the front row for Jacob concerts, because if you're the #1 supporter, you know you gotta get those front row seats. And so then the show started and everything, and best performance of my life. I love you, Jacob!
So baby, take my heart away, 'cause I've been thinking about this night all day.
Jacob, I love you! And then the show ended, my voice was sore, I was drenched in sweat, like literally drenched in sweat. And then our moms were like, okay girls, we gotta go. So we ended up just leaving, very sad. And we went to Waffle House, and I cried, and very depressing moment. And the last thing I saw of Jacob was when he was walking off stage after the song Hang Me Out to Dry, and he was like, thank you, Arkansas! And then he lifted up his shirt like this and then walked off. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoy. Subscribe, leave a like, share this video, and I will talk to you guys later. And make sure to follow my Instagram to see all of the pictures that I took with Jacob. Bye. Jacob for life, Sartorius for life. Yeah! Ow, that hurt so bad. Oh my gosh, ow.